everybody, it's Michelle, and today I have for you an athletic standing reformer workout using a set of hand weights. So mine are 4 pounds. You use whatever size you would like. So we're going to do some really fun and challenging standing exercises on our reformer. So please be comfortable with standing on top of a moving carriage before you start this workout with me. All right? So you're not going to need your straps. I've got mine on the floor. Have your foot bar all the way down. And then I'm going to have just a single red spring on throughout. You can adjust if you really need something different, but that should be good. Okay? So let's get started. So, best way to get up onto the machine is stand with it in front of you from the side. You're going to step onto the platform with that foot first, and then take your other foot onto the moving side of the carriage. Yes, always knowing where your weight is and not making any sudden moves up here, okay? So, hold the weights in either hand. You're just going to reach them long in front of you. Engage your inner thighs so your carriage isn't moving for this first portion. You're going to nod your chin, let the weights drag you down over your legs, okay? If you'd rather do this without weights, you can do that as well, and then roll back up. Good, and do that again. So that extra weight just gives us a little bit of pull to get a nice deep kind of stretch for the spine. Good, let's do that 2 more times, nodding the chin. So you should really feel those inner thighs working to keep the carriage touching the stopper. All right, now bring the weights to your chest. You're going to rotate over one foot, nod your chin, and reach the opposite weight over towards that foot as the back arm reaches to the ceiling, and then stack up, bring the weights to your chest. Other side, we twist, drop the head, punch the opposite arm to the outside of the foot, and then we curl back up tall. Very good. Do that a few more times. If you're familiar with the mat work repertoire, this is pretty much like a standing saw. Okay, let's do that a couple more times, rounding. It feels really good to kind of just let the weights take us in that direction. Right, so now flip the palms to face the ceiling, bend the elbows, and now like you're offering your weights to somebody in front of you, you're going to extend your arms as you move the carriage out and then return to the start. So we're exhaling and then inhaling. And if at any point this gets to be too much with the weights, feel free to drop them and go on without. Okay, and all throughout our workout today, if you need to adjust the resistance without necessarily changing your springs, just move where your foot is on the carriage. So I have mine pretty close to the edge, which makes the springs feel heavier. You could move them close to the shoulder rests to make them feel lighter. All right, now come in and pause for a second. We're going to add on to this. So we're going to push our carriage out just like we did, extend the arms. Now hold the machine still as you open your arms to the side, close them together, bend to return. Good, reach. Sustain that tension on the springs, close, and return. So if you're not able to hold the carriage there as you open and close your arms, just means that it's too heavy. So scoot your foot further away from the edge. Very good, you guys. Let's do that 2 more times. If it's too intense, don't straighten the arms as much. Keep the weights a little closer to your body. Very good. All right, come in and take a rest. Whew. Okay, next we're going to add a squat to this and turn this movement more circular with the arms. So we're going to start in a squat. My elbows are bent. I'm going to push out and straighten my arms and legs. Now as I return the carriage, I circle my arms around to return to the stopper. So we push out, circle, and come in, trying to leave your palms facing up the whole time. Exhale, push, and then in. So just smoothing together that movement of the arms and legs. Good. Let's do 2 more times, and then we're going to reverse the movement of the arms. Good. Let's go right away. So from the squat, we punch the arms side first, and then around and in. Punch, and then in. Make the biggest circle you can with those arms. Last 3. Last 2. And last one. Ah, very good. All right, you guys. Next, I want you to take the weights up and over your head, bend the elbows, tuck them in by your temples. Good. Now we're just going to take some tricep presses as we move the carriage out with our straight legs. You're going to straighten the arms and then drop the weights back. Very good. So this is a good one to practice being nice and stacked through your alignment. So make sure the ribs aren't jutting forward. Make sure the tail isn't sticking out. You feel nice and aligned. Good. Couple more here. The weights really help to pull those hands far down the back so you get a big tricep stretch and push. Very good, you guys. Let's do 3 more. Reach. Squeezing the backs of the arms. 2. And last one. All right. Bring the weights back to your chest. You're going to hold them close to your body with your knuckles facing each other. Don't move the carriage just yet. Take a couple practice squats here. So, getting as low as you can with those hips to the heels. Yes, you have a little squeeze from the inner thighs so the carriage stays still. Very good. Slight lean to the upper back or the whole back, leaning from your hips. Good. Now get down and stay here. I want you to just straighten and bend the leg that's on the carriage. So we move the machine out and in. Very good. Again, foot closer to the edge makes this more difficult. Good. My weight is staying over my platform leg. Now, what we're going to add to this is a punch and a rotation, yes, over my bent leg. So the same arm as the leg that's pressing is punching over the platform. So good, you guys. 3 more. Stay low. Come into your deepest squat. 1. Good. Stand up for a moment. Good. This one's a little bit trickier. So do the first couple kind of gingerly until you feel confident. You're going to hold that same weight position. Bend the knees. Now it's going to be our platform leg that presses. So I push off and return. Good. You really want your ankle and knee on the carriage leg to stay aligned, and they are the furthest point out. Yes, if your leg stays behind and your head goes first, that's when you're going to lose your balance. So really lead out with the side of that leg. All right, now we add our punch. This time we're going to punch over the carriage, out and in. Reach and return, and that carriage knee stays in that nice deep bend. All right, now let's try to go right into this. We're going to alternate. So I punch and push with my carriage leg and then my platform leg. Alternating. So that's a little bit of tricky coordination. Just stick with it. You'll find it. Push. You have to think 1 step ahead, planning where your weight needs to be. Very good, you guys. Let's do 4 more. Stay so low. Your head almost stays at the same level. That's it. Last one. And then come on up and rest. Whew. Amazing. All right, we've got one last little set, and then we'll turn around and do this on the other side. So find your squat again. Carriage is still. Reach the weights to the floor. All right, ribs draw up. Now just fly your arms open and closed. Very good. If this feels too much with the weights that you've got, feel free to bend your elbows. That would be a good modification, or drop the weights entirely. Very good. All right. Now, this one's a little bit tricky, but stay with me. The flatter your back is, the more level to the floor, the more intense this will be on the back of the shoulders. Now, when we fly the arms apart, keep your back flat and push out with both legs and then return. Both legs end up straight and then bent. And the angle of my back is staying the same. So lean forward as much as you feel comfortable with. So good, you guys. Couple more. Out and in. How about 3 more? We can do 3 more. Last 2. And last 1. Ooh. All right, you guys. Very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and do that on the other side. I think I'll stay facing you so that you can see what the arms are doing a little bit better. But you step off the back with your carriage leg first, then your platform leg, walk around and climb back on, okay? We do our platform foot first, carriage leg second, kind of figure out where you want those feet. And then let's come back to those roll downs that we started with. So my inner thighs are squeezing. There's no movement on the carriage. Tuck under and roll back up. Very good. So take this chance to kind of slow your breathing down, reconnect, kind of get grounded again. Ooh, after all that good work we did on the other side. Good. Maybe now that we're a little more warmed up, you might find that you're able to fold forward a little bit more. So maybe your hands are even touching the springs or dropping through the springs towards the floor. Okay, you just moderate that as you like. Let's do one more. Feels really good. All right. Okay, now let's go into our standing saw. So we bring our weights together. We rotate over one foot, nod the chin, and just punch the arms in those two directions, up and down. It's okay if your weight touches the mat. And then return. Other side, we twist. Keep the weights close to your body as you punch them. Yes, that'll feel a lot more comfortable, especially if your weights are on the heavy side. You want to keep them close to you. Whew, as we stretch. Very good, you guys. Let's do one more time. Amazing. All right, so first we go into our offering arm. So the palms are lifted. 2 counts. We reach and then return. Exhale and then in. So using these first few reps to see how we feel about our spring tension. Yes, adjust the foot as needed. All right, now challenging those outer thighs a little bit. Hold the split of the legs as we open and close the arms and then return. Good, we reach and hold, open and close, and then return. So solid. Try not to have any wiggle, any pulling on the springs. Ooh, it's harder than it looks. 1, and the further you push those feet initially, the harder it's gonna be. So challenge yourself by maybe going a 1/2 centimeter out further each time. All right, last one. And then come in and rest. Whew. All right, now going into more of a circular offering, adding a squat. So drop down, my elbows and knees are bent at the same time. Now here we go. I offer the arms forward. We circle out and around to come together. Exhale, and then inhale. Try to get tall as those feet separate wide. So good. Deepest squat you can. Really drop the hips to the heels. Circle. Very nice, you guys. Do this 2 more times. Feel tall through the crown of the head. Now right away, let's reverse. Arms punch side to circle in and down. And down. Very nice. Smoothing it out. So don't ever get stuck. Keep your machine moving. Last 3. 2 more. And last one. And then stand up. Very nice. All right, now we do our straight leg tricep presses. So start with the weights, drawing down the back, elbow tips point to the ceiling. Try to bring the ribs and hips a little closer together. And then you're gonna move the machine, reach the weights up, and then return. Exhale, and then down. With the arms overhead, it's really easy to let the ribs overdo it and really pop forward. So feel a gentle drawing down from the abdominals. So good. Let's do 3 more. This is kind of our reprieve before our next set. 2. And last one. All right, and then bring the weights back forward. All right, you guys. So next, bring the weights back together, knuckles looking at each other. No moving the carriage. Start your squats. Good. Good. If you notice you're starting to breathe a little heavier, maybe try to inhale through your nose to kind of slow that down. Very good. So really finding the depth of your squat so we know where it is when we start layering on more complex options here in a second. Let's do 2 more. Now get down and stay. Start pressing with your carriage leg out and then in. And if you'll notice, this platform leg isn't changing. It's keeping the same depth of squat. I leave my weight over it. Good. Now when you're ready, the same arm as the leg that's pressing is going to punch to the opposite side over the platform. That's it. Punch. If the punch is too much, you're welcome to just twist, leaving the weights at your chest. So good. 3. Last 2. And last 1. Now pause here. Stand up. Now we get to go the other direction. Okay. We bend down, push off of our platform leg, and then return. Good. Keep that shin straight up and down on the carriage leg. All right, here we go. Time to add in the punch and twist and return. Slow down if you need to. Stick with the level that's working for you. If you don't feel comfortable, no pressure to add on the next layer. Very good. All right, now let's start to alternate. We go with the carriage leg and arm, and then platform leg and arm. Good, that's it. Feel that diagonal line across. Punch, so good. Couple more times. If you can speed it up, good for you. This is a tricky one to speed up. Whew. All right, let's go to each direction one more time. And then stand all the way up. Wow, so good. All right, next, no moving the carriage yet. Lean forward, hang the weights in front of you, and then start flying the arms apart. Very good. So find how deep of a squat and how far of a lean you feel comfortable with. Yes. All right, now both legs are going to stretch and bend at the same time, and our body's going to move out with the movement of the carriage and then back in. Whew. So my torso stays centered between my feet. Out and in. Open and close. Maybe try to tip forward a little deeper into your lean. 3. 2 more. And last one. Whew. And so good, you guys. That was not easy. All right, next, go ahead and take the foot that's on the carriage, and you're going to turn it slightly to face more towards the shoulder rests. So next, we're going to be in more of a warrior type lunge position, all right? The closer your heel is to the edge of the carriage, the harder it'll be and the heavier the resistance. So play around with how far you need to scoot that foot away from the edge, okay? So the arms are just going to start long by our sides. Our legs can start pretty straight, okay? And you're facing front, hips just in a comfortable starting position. Now, you're going to bend your carriage leg as you move the machine out and raise your arms up and then come back down. And I kind of like to look over my foot as I go into the lunge and then look front on the return. Yes, and my arms are just matching the same line of my legs. Yeah, you don't have to overthink it, but just kind of make that long line. Everybody knows that warrior pose position in yoga, right? If it makes you feel better, you can kind of hook the edge of your platform foot around the lip of your platform if that makes you feel a little bit more secure. All right, let's do this a couple more times. You really want to keep the knee over the heel on this carriage leg as you press out, so your shin stays vertical. All right, now get out there and pause. Flip your palms to face the ceiling. Now, I want you to kick your carriage foot out. When you bring it back in, you're going to bend your elbows. Kick and then in. So try to leave your hips exactly where they are and just swing the foot out from underneath you. If you don't feel comfortable with the leg action, then just hold the lunge and continue with the arms. That's it. Really squeeze that back glute of the platform leg. Let's do 3 more. Last 2. Good. Last 1. And then go ahead and stand back up. Awesome, you guys. All right. Next, I'm gonna take both my weights in one hand, okay? So I get a little extra load, or you can remove one and just use a single weight, all right? You decide, depends on how heavy of weights you're working with. Okay, we're gonna start with our weights pressed up to the ceiling. Now, you can use this elbow or hand, however you like on your thigh, for support as we push out. So we're gonna move the carriage just like we did, except we're gonna bend over, place maybe your elbow on your knee, reach till the weights almost tap the carriage, and then stand back up and maybe look up at your hands. And then again, we go down, and then we come up. Yeah, and I've kind of got my big toe hanging off the end of the platform a little bit. It just makes me feel like I've got a little better grip as I go out and in, okay? Very nice. So that elbow finds the knee and then reach. That makes you feel a little more confident to push the carriage out a little bit more when we can rest our elbow down for a second. Very good, you guys. Let's do this 2 more times. Down and pull. Now get down there and hold. Don't move your carriage. And we're just gonna take some rows of the arms. Whew, so that's not easy, maintaining that tension on the springs. Good, the less the carriage moves, the better. Let's do 3 more, like you're starting a lawnmower. 2. And then on your last one, go ahead and finish standing up and reaching the arms. Whew, well done, you guys. All right, let's do the other side. Switch, you can step to the floor to switch, or just step to your platform. All right, so facing your new direction, new foot on the carriage, stand tall. Okay, kind of draw the hips under the ribs. Okay, here we go. So we start looking front, and then as we move the carriage out, we look over that knee and hand, and then return. And up. Very good. We don't want the knee going past the ankle on this one because that will diminish our spring tension and potentially will be less stable, all right? So we lead out with that vertical shin, kick with the foot. All right, you guys, let's do 2 more. Okay, now hold that lunge, flip the palms to the ceiling, kick the foot out, and then you're gonna bring the weights to the shoulders. Out and then in. So arms and leg are straight together, bent together. Reach and in, very nice. 3, 2, keep the hips nice and low. Kick that carriage as far as you can. Last one, and then come in and stand up. Very nice. All right, shift both weights to one hand or just hold a single weight. Start, arms up on the diagonal, and then we find our lunge. Get a little bit of support of the elbow on the knee, and then reach back up tall. Very good. So have a little lip of that toe on the edge, if that helps you. Good, we reach and then up. Make sure you're moving nice and slowly, always watching where those weights go with your eyes. That'll keep you grounded, which it's not easy to feel grounded when the ground is moving under you. Yes, all right, let's do that 2 more times. Down and pull. Awesome. All right. Now pause at the bottom, don't allow the carriage to move, and you're gonna pull and touch. Pull and lower. The weights go as far as they can go towards the mat. They might not touch. Down and up. Ooh, that's so much work for the thigh to keep the springs tight. 2 more. And then on your last one, pull to stand one last time. Ooh. All right, carefully step down to the floor. Awesome job, you guys. All right, let's use just a single weight. Place the other one off to the side. And then we're gonna come down onto our carriage, all right? So you're gonna tuck your toes under on the platform. Your free hand is gonna go flat on the carriage. Your hand with the weight is gonna keep the grip and just rest down, all right? So I've got contact with both of the arms and both of the legs, all right? So now the knees are gonna hover off of the carriage. and then touch them back down. Let's do that a couple times just to get our bearings here. So no movement on the springs, and then get used to having the hands in these two different positions. Okay, it's a little bit trippy at first. All right, now hover your knees up, push out to straight, come in, get the carriage under your kneecaps, and then lower. And you can play around with the position of your hands. If you're on the taller side, your hands will probably be further back towards the shoulder rests than mine are. Yes? All right, now you guys, here comes the tricky part. When you push out, I want you to also row the weight, and then as you come back, you're gonna place it down, okay? We lift and pull, kind of happens all at once, and then we come in and lower. Whew, not so easy. Push, and then pull. All right, let's do that 2 more times. Now for our final one, push out there and stay, and let's do a couple more rows of the arm without moving our carriage. 3, 2, 1, and then come in and relax. Whew. Not so easy. All right, just roll that weight over to the opposite side. Okay, hand is down, hands about under the shoulders. Okay, let's just start pressing. We already kind of tested ourselves on the other side, so I think we're ready to just push out and then come in and rest. Now, by all means, if you don't feel like you need to rest, you don't have to. You can keep the knees up all throughout. I'm appreciating the rest, okay? But you feel free to add that layer of challenge. All right, next, as we're pushing out, the weighted arm is rowing, and then we lower. Whew. Push, and then lower. Good, out, and then in, out, and then in. Let's do this 2 more times. And then on your last one, get out there and hold and keep rowing without moving the carriage. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then come in and rest. All right, so take both your weights with you. We're gonna stand next to the machine. Just like before, when we did our warrior lunges, you can decide if you wanna double up and hold 2 weights in one hand or ditch one and just do the single. All right, so we're gonna come up to standing on one side. You're gonna get into a lunge position with your foot against the shoulder rest, the closest leg. Now this bottom foot, the further back it is, the heavier the springs will feel. All right, so kind of start with it somewhere in a mid-range front to back. All right, now we stand tall. You're gonna push the carriage away, bend your front leg, and find your deepest lunge and hinge forward so the weights almost touch the floor. Then you're gonna do a bicep curl and press to the ceiling. Yes, so we lean and then we stand. It happens all at once. Hinge and then stand. Very good, you guys. Down and then up. All right, now if this is plenty challenging, you just stick with this, all right? We're gonna get a little crazy and it's gonna be really fun. So now, when you get to your lunge, I want you to leave the weights on the floor. Place your hands on either side of your platform. Now don't let the carriage come zooming in. Take your foot that's on the floor and cross it over the carriage ankle. Now do a push-up. Down and up. Replace the foot on the floor. Carriage is still out. Grab the weights and stand up. Ooh, that was a lot. Let's do that again. We set the weights down. Once you get more comfortable, you can smooth it together. Push up if you can, or if you like. Foot to the floor. Grab and stand. Awesome, you guys. Now that we're starting to get the flow of it, yeah, just start to smooth it all together. Very good. Again, you can take your time, or you can go for a little more speed if you're feeling pretty good. Whew, so good. All right, let's do 2 more sets all the way through. Take it at your own pace. Hands down, cross the ankles. Whew. All right, you guys, last one. Weights to the floor. Very good. Bend and stretch. Whew. And then stand on up. Very nice. Okay, I didn't mention it, but if your machine is higher off of the ground, you may find that you would like to do this with your long box underneath your feet. You just decide, okay? So Let's do that on the other side. So step on over, weights to the new hand. Get set up in your lunge. All right, here we go. So starting with just the lunge, hinging down, and then pressing. Very good. So coming back to your breath, this other hand can do whatever you like. Maybe hip or just hanging. All right. Okay. When you feel ready, let's do it. This is our last thing, so let's give it all. Give it all we got. Weights to the floor. Now your springs are staying tight. The carriage stays out. We cross the ankles. You come down and up. Replace the foot, and then return to standing. Good. So the carriage might move out in teeny tiny bits as you're moving through this, but it should stay quite away from the stopper. Whew. Awesome, you guys. Start flowing through at your own pace. You can take or leave any bits that aren't working for you, like no need to push up if it's not happening. Very good. That's it, you guys. So now let's do 2 more sets. We got it. Good. Push up. So good. You can do it. Last one. So strong, you guys. These are not easy. And then go ahead and stand up. So good. I'm so proud of you. Good. All right. No more weights. We're just going to finish with a stretch and a little cool down. So let's come back up to standing on our carriage like how we started. Only difference is we're going to have this carriage foot much, much further out than we did before, okay? So feel free to, if you can reach, you can put it all the way against a shoulder rest. I don't know that my legs are quite long enough to do that, but step out as far as you feel comfortable with, okay? This is going to really be tricky on our inner thighs, so go slow. It makes the springs feel very light. You're going to move the carriage out, and I just want you to drop your head and hang your hands to the floor and just totally hang the upper body. Exhale, you're going to roll back up. Do that again. Nod your chin. Let the spine round. Go as far out as you're comfortable with and curl up. If it's too intense on the inner thighs, feet can come closer together. So good. All right. On our next one, instead of reaching through the springs, place your hands on the rails of your machine. One hand can even go on the carriage so that you can push out and get a deeper stretch, okay? Now you're welcome to kind of come in a little bit and out a little bit, or you can even just hold the stretch, all right? Whatever feels good. It's kind of nice to have this hand on the carriage to kind of modulate how far out you're going. All right, now maybe find your biggest straddle and just hold for a breath or two. Good. All right, and then bring the carriage in and slowly roll up. Whew. All right, carefully bring your foot back. Step down and let's do the other side. All right, so get up onto your new side. Step out as wide as you can. And then we go. Start with letting the hands hang through the springs and then curl back up. So we get a nice inner thigh, hamstring, and spine stretch. And then we squeeze those inner thighs to come up. Very good. So really be slowing down the breath here, trying to kind of come back down from all that work and intensity. Whew. All right, now let's place our nearest hand on the corner of the carriage, other hand on the rail, and then we just slide and then return. Good. So the arms can either prevent you from going too deeply or assist you to go into a nice big stretch. Very good. All right, last one. Get out there and hold it, maybe for an extra breath or two. Maybe you go a little deeper. Whew. All right, bring your machine in. Carefully help yourself off of the machine. And with that, you guys, we are done. I'm so impressed for you trying this really hard workout with me. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up down below. Leave me a comment if you have any feedback or any requests. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.